Morning guys. Right, I'm on my way to a car transporter. He's got a boost fault on the engine, and I was out to it yesterday. I went out to it last night and I found that it's got a blown gasket on the turbo. So rather than the gases spinning that turbo up, it's losing the gases out of the gasket, so it's producing less boost. So I'm going to go and get a gasket now and go over there and we'll get that fitted. So that should be a nice little Saturday morning job. Right guys, we're here at Swift Brake and Clutch. So yeah, let's go in and see Richard and Keith and Billy and all the lads, and they'll sort us out with the parts, with the gaskets. Right then, there we go. There's the new gasket. Goes between the turbo and the manifold. So let's go over there and we'll get this fitted. Right, and guys, I'm on site there now. Got this Renault Premium, cab's already up from last night. So what's happened is when you rev it up, I've undone this clip, I undid that last night, but when you rev it up, normally these boost hoses really bulge out with the pressure from the turbo, but they're not. That's his fault. He's got very little boost. So if you follow it back down there, you see all this black on the turbo. That's your telltale sign, you see. So what's happening when you rev it up, I don't know if you can see, but there's a gasket between here, 4 bolts, right in there. That's where the gasket is. That there is blowing like hell, absolutely blowing its nuts off. So you're losing loads of exhaust gases, which in turn isn't giving you your full pressure to the turbo. So it's in actual fact, it's exactly the same as basically having a split one of those hoses. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it stripped off and we're going to get a new gasket put in there. Okay, well then, I've removed the intake ducting. So next job, I'll swivel that there. We'll just get rid of this exhaust heat shield. Get the exhaust heat shield off. There we go. There we can see the bother. Nut missing. Nut finger tight. Probably slack on the back by the look of it. So yeah, we'll get them apart. Doesn't even look like it's got any kind of gasket left. So yeah, we'll get them apart, get the new one in. Right, I'm going to have to modify a spanner for this job. Don't like butchering a spanner, but bloody good. Right, let's get this turbo flange unbolted. Right, so I can get me cranked spanner onto that nut there. See it, and just undo that. You can see that. Look, I can't get something into it, so I'll keep on undoing that. We'll get that apart. Hey, cracking. Right guys, I've dropped the turbo down as far as I can. I don't know if you can see that, but you can probably just make out the blown bit of gasket in there. So I can't get those back studs out. They're seized in solid. The bottom brackets are tight. I can't get them to move on the bottom of the turbo. I don't want to shear anything off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get these 2 front studs out that I can get to, and I'm going to do a slight modification on the new gasket, which won't make any difference to the gasket sealing, and I'll be able to slip that in and job will be a good one. Save loads of time, loads of hassle, and save everyone the bother of having to take all that apart, which doesn't actually need to come apart. 2 nuts put onto this stud here, acting as one locking up against the other. So I'm going to warm up round the flange, get that stud out, same on that one, and get that out. I've warmed it up, the flange, so I'm just working that back and forward, that stud, because you don't want to snap that off. If you snap that off, see it's moving there. I'm just going to keep on with that until I get that one out, and then I'll get that one out. Right then guys, that's the two studs out there. This one here came out no bother. This one here was an absolute swine. Coming out, it's pulled the threads. You can see the end of that bolt there, that's knackered, so that stud there can't go back, so I'll tap this up, clean it up, and I'll get a new bolt through for this one, okay? Hey guys, that's the faces all cleaned up with some emery paper. That's what's left of the old gasket pulled out, no more gasket left in there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get this new gasket, I'm going to get my cutter here, and I'm just going to nick out the back of this hole here, out of this hole here, and then slip the gasket in. The gasket seals around the centre here, so that's neither here nor there, and that'll save the customer money and me a whole load of time. There we go. So that there will now slip in without having to take that whole unit off and probably end up breaking something and then not getting the vehicle back for the weekend. So there we go. That's that gasket slid in there. Beautiful. That's it all tightened up, new gasket in, all the nuts tightened up. So that's a good one. All we're going to do now is put it all back together. Right, that's it all done there guys, all buttoned up, all finished. When I rev it, you can feel that intercooler hose bulging up properly as it should there, nice and tight, no leaks. So yeah, good job that guys. Right then guys, that's that one all done and dusted, another Ken's job. So I hope you enjoyed that. There was a lot of things that could have gone wrong with that, so I knew when to stop and just alter that gasket, because I had to have it ready for Monday morning and so much could have gone wrong there. So hey, job's done. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again with another Ken's Jobs.